Oh man, I gotta do it again. What's up, everybody? My name is Bryce, aka DubsNotSubs, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I talk about Records of Ragnarok and why I hate it. So if you've been on Twitter for the last few days and you've seen that this anime came out, you know what I'm talking about just a little bit. We're gonna be getting into Record of Ragnarok, what I like about it and what I don't like about it. We got a lot to get into, a lot to hate on. Your boy's back doing what he does best. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, Records of Ragnarok follows the gods every 1,000 years having this meeting to decide whether humanity will live or die. And finally, in this meeting, they decide that humanity is finished. They don't want to do any more with them, and then they decide to kill them all off. But then, one of the 13 Valkyries show up and then declare Ragnarok, which allows the humans to battle the gods with a 13-match fight to decide humanity's fate. Now, the fights themselves, you have the most popular gods in Greek and Norse history for the most part, and you have the most popular humans, or the most powerful humans in there. So you have people like Adam, Nikola Tesla, you have Jack the Ripper, and lots of other different characters, Lubo, and then you have on the god side, you have Zeus, Poseidon, you have Beelzebub, and you have a lot of different characters there, 13 to 13, and you get to see them fight it out. Now, the concept itself is really cool. I love the concept of this. Just gods versus humans. Who can win? Man versus the Lord. Who can battle it out for supremacy? But when you start to get into this, you start to know that something's a little bit off with the anime. And that is probably the most core part of the anime, and that is the animation. It is very, very not smooth would be the best way of me saying it. It's very much the Studio Pere thing when you see with Black Clover and something like that. It is not the best animated. It's no Mappa, it's no Wit Studio. Now, I'm not expecting maybe the best thing to come out of it, and maybe the anime studio just didn't do a good job, because we know that a lot of the animation comes down to who bids and wins whatever license they want to do. Now, this is done by a studio called Graphinica, and the series that they have done, which I have pulled up on my phone, we have Hellsing Ultimate, SSS Gridman, which is a Trigger thing, but they helped them create it. They have the Heroic of Arson, and then they have Juni Tyson, Zodiac War, Hello World, and lots of other different smaller shows. So there are a lot of series they've done before with some good animation, specifically the SSS Gridman, and Juni Tyson's, I believe, had a pretty decent animation from what I'm remembering when I watched it. Now, this has a very bad problem of, especially, you guys all know the video of Adam versus Zeus. Now, let's get into that. Now, the final part of that, obviously, spoilers for this. I'm going to be spoiling up to the second battle. I won't talk about anything beyond that. So, we have Lobo versus Thor, and then we have Zeus versus Adam. Now, to specifically talk about the Zeus versus Adam thing, if you've seen it on Twitter, you saw the final battle, one of the biggest moments and one of the climaxes, or not one of the climaxes, the climax of the entire series. It just was horrible. Like, legitimately, it was like the same thing when everyone complained about My Hero Academia having the slide scene, but I'm pretty sure that was only like for 15 seconds. This is like the biggest moment in the entire thing, and there's been so many other moments in this series where they just have a static picture of somebody, and then they put like Japanese letters over it, and then like this really shitty animation of like meteors coming at them, like Zeus's meteor jab is specifically what I'm talking about, and then you get this scene, and this scene is just the most climactic part of the entire fight. You get to see Adam go all out, doing everything he can to try to beat Zeus, and Zeus to do everything he can to try to beat Adam, and it's absolutely insane the little effort that they put into the animation of this. Like, they just slideshow it, and then they repeat like pictures, and it's just like so bad, and it goes on for so long, and it just ends, and you're like, really? One of the best fights in this show so far, or well, obviously there's only two, but one of the best fights that you've seen, and it's just like not done. Now, I'm not gonna say this because it's not fair to be like, if they had the studio that God of High School did, like, legitimately, if they like, just think if it had that animation, this would not be anywhere close to as hated on, but it would be just loved as one of the best fight scenes ever if it got enough care. Even Black Clover, with their horrible animations at a lot of times, had their moments where they had Licht versus the Wizard King, and like really well animated scenes, and they knew when when to dedicate time to do it. But it was like they spent the opposite, like, doing that. Like, animation is just bad, and then it got worse at the most climactic parts of the show, and it's so weird that they decided to go with this kind of animation. And then the guy who's giving this to Netflix, and is like, or maybe it's not Netflix, or maybe it's gone studio and then they just license it for America. It gets very confusing with licensing. But anyway, to put this on TV or put this on anything professionally, and then hand this over to your boss, and your boss looks at it and goes, yeah, this is good, they're gonna love this. Makes no sense to me. I don't understand how anybody approved this. I don't care for time crunches or anything. Like, anything more than that would have been better. Like, even like their fighting and the punching, everything in these fights are just very not well animated, and it really hurts the show a lot. Because now, on the other hand, you have the manga, and it is insane. It is like day and night how different this is. It is so much better than the anime. Like, not even close. I'm not even trying to be a manga elitist. Like, it's not even a contest. Nobody can dispute how much better the manga is than the anime. It's so much clearer fights, so much more into it. Getting to see Brunhilde, which is one of the Valkyries, getting to see her facial expressions dumbed down so much in the anime compared to what they were in the manga, and get to see the fights in the manga that were so great and so well drawn just basically butchered. It's crazy how they ended up doing this. I cannot believe the amount of time that they decided to spend on this anime, and then this is the result we get. Granted, I don't know how long they spent on it, but they should have spent a little more. Now, the good thing that gets to come out of this terribly animated adaptation is that we get to have Record of Ragnarok put in English officially by Viz Media. I'm sure they were holding out about this and knew that the anime was coming out, and we're just basically waiting for the anime to be announced for them to, just say they're ready to do it and to put it out in English. And it's a smart move, and I definitely recommend, if you guys enjoyed the anime in any way and enjoyed the concept at all, go for the manga if you were disappointed by the anime. If you like the anime, hats off to you, because there were points at it where I found understandable, especially the fight afterwards. I enjoyed the fight. I don't think it was as bad as the Adam and Zeus fight. It just felt like they spent less time on that, and you can tell that the animation could be so much better, especially when the entire show is basically just fighting. It feels like God of High School, just gods versus humans, and it feels like I wish it had that animation so much. But luckily, the anime is not the only way to watch this, and we get to have the manga version in English for us to read, and it's fantastic that we get to experience that version of it, because it is far superior, far better, and a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. This is an action-packed series. It really keeps you guessing. I don't like how the first fights panned out, to be honest. I don't like how Adam didn't win, but then we find our first victor afterwards, and it's like the dude who literally could copy all the gods' moves couldn't win, but this dude just trained for a long time and then decided to, win. And it's like, okay, that's really how we're gonna go with that. All right. I also find it convenient that it's he won, and and he's the biggest loser. It's just funny that they decided to go with an underdog story as much as they did when you had a dude who literally copied the gods. And I think, is Zeus stronger than Poseidon? Because the way they talked about it, Poseidon was supposed to be stronger than Zeus, or at least that's the way they made it sound out of the 13 gods, that Poseidon was the strongest. But I don't know if they were just saying that for climatic reasons, and that would make more sense if Poseidon wasn't as strong as Zeus, because you're basically saying that this samurai is stronger than a dude who literally could react in a infeasible amount of time. It doesn't matter, your prediction, like the one guy has, the power prediction that he has. Adam could dodge any of his attacks easily and would be way more powerful than him, but it's not Adam versus him, obviously. I'm not going to go into this. It's a whole tangent, and it's just my personal opinion that I think Adam should have won. Mostly I'm just salty that my guy lost, but whatever. But overall, the manga is absolutely fantastic. Definitely go check it out. You guys need to read the manga version. It is worth your time. I guarantee you it is so much better than the anime. It is so engaging and action-packed and such a fun series, and it sucks to see that the animation didn't get the proper care that it deserved, and the series didn't get the proper adaptation that I think that it could have been and that it should have been, in my opinion. But overall, I love the manga. The manga was very enjoyable. I love that the series keeps me guessing. I don't know who's going to win every fight. I'm almost 100% certain that this is going to go to a round 13. So it's going to go which 6 win of the gods and which 6 win of the humans, because I feel like there's no way he's going to do it where they don't have all 13 battle it out. It feels like it'd be kind of a waste at that point. But it is such a fantastic series. I definitely recommend it, you guys watching this. If you like your battle royales, if you like your action stuff, if you like your 7 Deadly Sins over-the-top fighting, because that's all this is. It's really, it really is just fighting and for mankind. There's really not much else in these series than that. There's no deeper story. You get to see some of the characters' backstories. Well, you get to see all the characters' backstories, but I mean, they're not really that deep. It just really shows how powerful they are and how they get to the strength that they get to, and so it is very enjoyable. The manga does a great job of doing the story and the action and the fights, and it's just really great to read the manga. The anime, however, did not live up to expectations, in my opinion. I didn't enjoy it that much. I definitely prefer the manga, which is where I'm going to be returning to most likely. Although I don't hate the third fight. I didn't watch the first fight because I read the first fight because I wanted to be able to compare manga to anime. So that's why I didn't watch the first one. But the second one was, whew, it was bad. It was sheesh. It was not good. And the third one was okay. It was definitely an okay animation. Like, I didn't have as much problems with that one as I did with the last one. But overall, the manga is better. Read that one. And anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel that I deserve it. I always appreciate you guys watching these videos. And as always, DubsNotSubs.